Hello lovely people, my name is David and I want to welcome you to this video where I'm going to show you the one most powerful, most important technique that is going to help you to liberate yourself from the prison of your own mind. So if you do this one technique that I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes, if you do it consistently, if you apply it again and again and again, as I'm going to explain you right now, then this one technique is going to take you a very, very long way on your journey to liberation, to spiritual enlightenment, and to total freedom, bliss, happiness, and inner peace. So, first of all, before I'm going to show you the technique, we need to build up to it a little bit so that you really understand what is actually the problem. So, the problem is with our minds that most of the time our minds are in a state of complete craziness. Our minds most of the time are chattering away bullshit, just nonsense thoughts, one after another, after another, after another. And while that may be annoying and distracting sometimes, this isn't really the heart of the problem. The heart of the problem is that we are largely extremely judgmental, critical, and most importantly self-judgmental, self-critical. Most of the time in our own minds we're holding ourselves to extremely high standards. We're giving ourselves no slack at all. We're constantly defining ourselves, who we are supposed to be, who we are not supposed to be, how we should behave, how we should look, and we're creating incredible standards for ourselves, and telling ourselves that if we don't adhere to the standards that we set for ourselves in our own minds, if we don't adhere to them, then we are bad, we are not worthy, we deserve to suffer, we have to prove our own worth, we have to work for our worth, we have to do in our own minds, we're telling ourselves we have to do so many things just for ourselves to be able to accept ourselves. And if you look at this dynamic, if you understand, if you see, and if you recognize this pattern in your own mind, that your mind is constantly criticizing yourself, is constantly telling yourself that you need to change something about yourself to be able to love yourself, or maybe that you're not lovable at all, not worthy at all. Maybe the mind is constantly telling yourself, well, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm supposed to do this, but oh, if I don't do that, then I'm really bad, and I deserve to feel bad. All of that stuff. If you really look at it, then maybe you're going to be able to recognize how much in a prison you are, how much your mind is holding yourself not only in a prison, but is actually torturing yourself day in and day out. From the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep, your mind is torturing yourself. Can you see that? It's like a slave master constantly cracking the whip on you, telling yourself to move faster, to apply yourself, and so on. How often can you find yourself in a state of peace, in a state of serenity? How often do you allow yourself to leave all of that stuff behind, all of that self-improvement stuff and all of that, well, you know, that inner growth stuff and so on, where you're constantly telling yourself that you have to change and that you have to grow and so on. And how often do you leave all of that for a moment, just be and stop? And just be with yourself peacefully, without fighting against yourself. How often do you allow yourself just to experience the bliss of the moment, the beauty that's all around you, without telling yourself, oh, I need to get back to work, I need to improve myself, I need to be better, and so on. So, you see, your true self, your consciousness, your beingness, your true beingness as a human, as a soul, as a consciousness, just as a being. Your true self is constantly beheld in a prison by your thinking mind, by your mind that's telling you what to do and who to be and who not to be, and so on. So, how to break free? How to break free from this prison? Well, the way to liberate yourself from the prison is to more and more, and here comes the explanation of the one practice that I've told you, the one practice that is going to take you a long, 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 long way in the direction of your total freedom, which is spend more time being. Spend more time where you allow yourself to just drop all of your thoughts away, to drop all of your of all of the shoulds and shouldn'ts and ought to's and so on, and have to's, future, past, everything of that. Spend more time allowing yourself to just drop all of that away and be. Just be. Well, how to do that? Because if you could do that, you would, right? Of course, if you would know how to stop torturing yourself in your own mind with your own thoughts, I wouldn't have to be here telling you how to. So, how to do it? How to do it? First of all, the most important step, first step, is to right now make a decision. Make a decision that you actually want what's good for you. Make a decision that you put your own well-being, your own happiness, your own peace, that you put that before anything your mind is telling you. Actually put your own well-being, like your true inner well-being, which means to feel good in yourself, to feel good in your own body, in your own mind, in your own emotions, to be at peace in yourself. To put that state of consciousness, that state of being, to put this as the highest, most important thing in your life. And everything else is second to that. Even your job, even your partner, even your kids. Your own inner well-being is the most important thing for you. Why? Well, you're alive. You're a human being, aren't you? You're alive to be well. You're alive to enjoy yourself. You're alive to be happy and peaceful and blissful and to experience love. To experience yourself actually in any way that you want yourself, that you want to experience yourself. If this is to be miserable and to hate yourself and to tell yourself what to do all the time and to crack the whip on you, be my guest. Continue being harsh with yourself. But if you see that actually the whole reason why you're alive at all, and actually why you're watching this video at all, is because you want to learn how to be happy and blissful and peaceful and being in love with yourself, with life, with everything. So put your own well-being. Make the decision right now. Make the decision right now for the rest of your life that your own well-being, that your own inner peace, your own inner bliss and excitement is the most important thing to you. Make that decision. Speak after me. I put my own well-being first. I put my own self-love and my own bliss first. Got it? So that's step one. Now, what to do? Well, okay, I've made that decision. I've made the decision to put my own well-being first. I made the decision to love myself unconditionally and so on. But still, I find myself struggling. I find my thoughts attacking myself. I find me telling myself in my own mind that I'm stupid and that I'm useless and that I don't know what to do and that I should be different than I am and that I should be ashamed of myself and that I'm guilty and that I've made a lot of mistakes in the past and that I should feel bad for that and that I'm so uncertain and worried about the future and that I'm full of fears and anxieties and so on, and my mind is all the time telling me that and reminding myself of that all of the fucking time. So how to get out of this maelstrom, of this whirlpool of misery and struggle and anxiety? Make it a habit. And here comes the practice. So you can do that every time that you find yourself, that you notice yourself struggling. So here comes step 2, right? First of all, start to observe your own thoughts. Start to observe the patterns in your mind. Start to observe. It's like there's those repeating stories in your mind that you tell yourself. You don't tell yourself that you're stupid, you tell yourself that you're stupid and why you're stupid. and how not to be stupid and so on. And there's a repeating pattern of similar thoughts that come up again and again and again, and like this with every single thing in your life that you're struggling with. So first of all, make it a habit to observe your thoughts. Observe the patterns that go on in your mind. And if you do this sufficiently enough, you're going to actually see the patterns that are playing out in your mind. You're going to recognize them. Like you're going on and on and on in your daily rumble, in your thoughts, in your mind, what's going on every day. And then one moment you're going to see, oh, wait a minute. I've seen this pattern before. I've seen this story before. Interesting. Now is the next step. As soon as you recognize the story playing out, and you actually recognize yourself suffering from that because, you're telling yourself bad stuff about yourself. So you see the story, you recognize that you're suffering from it. And now comes the most important step. You drop it. You just drop it. You let the thoughts go. You make the decision, you remake the decision that you made at first, that you put your own well-being first. And now you've recognized, oh, wait a minute, there's a story playing out in my mind that I'm suffering from, that's creating pain for myself, which is the opposite of well-being. So, you sit down, whatever you're doing, you sit down for a moment, you take a deep breath, you remind yourself who you really are, you remind yourself that I'm not the story that's playing out in my mind, I'm not all of the bad things that I'm telling myself, I'm actually pure infinite freedom, I'm actually pure consciousness, pure energy. I'm not my mind, I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my body. I'm a free being. I'm a free, infinite being. And I'm not going to be enslaved by my limited mind. You make that decision again in the moment where you recognize yourself to put yourself in pain, and you stop. You just stop. And maybe it will take a few iterations of doing this. Maybe it's like going to the gym, eh? So first you make the decision that you're going to the gym 3 times a week. Then you have to actually go there, and then you have to actually do the exercises. It's not enough to be in the gym, you have to do the exercises there. And then maybe at the first time you're just going to make 5 repetitions at one machine. Or maybe just 1. Or maybe not even 1. That probably then the machine is bad, or there's too much weight on the machine, but anyways. So maybe at first you're not going to be able to just drop the story in your thoughts. Because your mind is like a truck, right? Your mind is like a truck at 100 miles per hour, racing, and it's hard to stop that. There's so much momentum there, there's so much energy there. It's just too much of a stretch to stop it all at once. If you can do it, congratulations, yeah. That's a big thing. That's a big thing in the direction of liberation that you're taking there, if you're able to just stop your mind like that. For most of the people, it's going to take a little bit of practice. It's going to take a little bit of meditation practice, and then it's going to take a little bit of dedication and a little bit of repetition to be able to stop your mind from telling you all of that bullshit, painful stories. So again, as you recognize the story of pain and suffering in your mind playing out, you recognize it, you decide again to put your own well-being first, to put your own well-being above all of the reasons that your mind is telling you that you should suffer. If you recognize that. And well, just sit down, drop the thoughts, and connect with what's real. What do I mean by that? Just look at your body. Touch your body for a moment. Give yourself some gentle touch. Give yourself some love. Look out of the window. Look at the tree that's next to your window. Look at how it's moving in the wind. And just observe, just for a minute, just for half a minute, just for a few seconds. Be in reality. Decide for just for a few seconds, be in reality and not in your mind. And then you go on about your daily life. You go back into your mind. But then, as you do this, you've taken a little bit momentum out of the story. As you've recognized, oh, the story is playing out in my mind, I'm creating pain for myself, and I've actually been able to stop it just for half of a minute, just for a couple of seconds. I've been able to stop that story of pain. And you've taken a little bit of momentum out of it. And the next time it's coming up, it's going to be a little bit more easy, and you're going to be able to be in peace a little bit more often. And you do this over and over and over again, and eventually the story is going to stop showing up, because your mind has learned that that you're not going to give attention to it creating pain for you. And you do this with all of the different stories in your mind. And there you are. You've achieved a little bit of freedom, a little bit of peace in yourself. You've stopped creating suffering in your own mind for yourself. Your mind is a very sharp tool. Your mind is like a sword. It's like a sword or a knife, eh? And you can use it for different things. You can use a knife to cook, to cut your bread, or you can use your knife to repeatedly cut yourself all the time, all the freaking time you're cutting yourself. This is what you're doing with your mind. The mind is a very sharp tool. The mind is used for analysis and for planning and so on, and it's a very sharp thing. And if you use it against yourself, by defining yourself, by telling yourself who you are supposed to be, by telling yourself you're stupid and useless and whatever, you're creating extreme amounts of pain and suffering for yourself. And now you know how to stop doing that. And it just takes a little bit of dedication and willpower for you to be able to really liberate yourself from all of the bullshit, all of the painful stories that are going on in your mind. So now you know, this is the technique. This is the one most powerful technique actually that's going to help you to break free from your suffering and to live in peace. So, subscribe to my channel, leave a like. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. If you have any declarations, if you want to tell me about how great the technique has worked for you, also write me a comment. I'm very happy to read that, to see that my work is actually landing. And if you need a little bit of help with that, if you say, well, I've tried but I don't manage, it's just too difficult, there's just so much going on in my mind and I don't even know how to start, and oh my god, help me please, I'm actually offering coaching sessions on doing just that. I'm offering coaching sessions on total self-liberation. So if that's something that you want to do, if that's something that you want to learn, just connect with me and we're going to see how I'm going to help you. That being said, have a lovely day. Be in peace, be in love, and see you in the next video.